Dear friends, hope you are all safe and healthy. During these days of virus pandemic, we do not have a clear-cut way to protect ourselves. Hence, we explore different things at random, not knowing where exactly to tap. That reminds me of the story of a ship stranded in the middle of the sea. The captain brought in many engineers to repair and to start the ship. But it was all of no use until a senior man came with his old set of tools. The senior man looked at the engine intensely for a while, took out his hammer, and went close to the engine to a particular place and knocked on it twice. The ship started. Later, he sent the bill for $10,000. The captain of the ship was annoyed and said, $10,000 just for 2 knocks? The old man replied, for knocking with hammer, $100 only. But for recognizing where to tap, $9,900, he said. My dear friends, so also in our lives, we try many things at random. Some say, develop positive thinking, and some others say, work on your mental stamina, and some say, physical fitness, and it goes on. Yet we know, often we end up in troubled waters. Why? Because we are yet to recognize the right place to tap. The right place, I believe, is the inner space, a divine space that is embedded in us right at our birth. It is a priceless treasure given by God. In Prophet Ezekiel, chapter 36, verse 27, God says, I will put my spirit within you. The inner space is the core of our being, where the Spirit of God resides. Hence, the inner space becomes the source of divinity and serenity, goodness and compassion, faith and joy, forgiveness and reconciliation, and ultimately, love and service. Unfortunately, we have ignored it for years. On the contrary, we tend to go after the outer space. The outer space is the illusionary material world. It provokes us to compete and compare, and even cripples us under power and position. Hence, we are never content, ever craving after unhealthy ambitions, eventually building up ego conflicts and living in constant stress. Remember, salt water can never quench your thirst. It can only increase. Socrates said, know yourself. And Buddha, on the other hand, said, forget thyself. Know yourself implies know your inner space and live by that inner strength. And Buddha's forget thyself implies Forget the outer space of materiality and ego desires. Thereby, increase your inner space and be an enlightened person. Be it in normal life circumstances or in difficult moments, try to fall back into this inner space. You would experience a vibration of peace, acceptance, and appreciation. Thus, it purifies your spirituality and improves your immunity. It changes your mindset from I into we, from comparison to growth towards higher visions of greater life. During this lockdown, so much of unlearning and unwinding has taken place in each of us. In fact, the soil of our heart is well tilled and fresh. Let us avail this moment and do two things. First, recognize this inner space. Visit this place regularly. Scott Peck, in his book The Road Less Traveled, said, discipline is the tool we require to solve life's problems. Hence, discipline yourself and spend 15 minutes a day to quieten yourself and get in touch with your inner space. Secondly, let this inner space grow. Develop a taste for it. The more your inner space attracts you and becomes part of your life, the less will be the influence of outer space in you. And this inner space would make us healthy and healing, happy and honest, compassionate and creative, not competing with others, but valuing relationships than riches, building bridges than walls, accepting everyone and appreciating, grateful and faithful to God for all the blessings and the challenges of life. May you grow in inner space and wish you a happy and healthy life. God bless you.